Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. John Gray here, and I've got my Easter mask on. Look at there. Look at all those bunnies right there. Got Easter eggs in my pocket, and you know, they're talking about masks and how they're running out. If you've got a scarf at home or a bandana, you'll never run out of a mask. Even if you have to, take an old sheet and tear it up and wrap it around. And seeing as how we're in a pretty good shape right here with the folks inside the studio today, which is not many. Ken's out here with the airfoilers, but he's safe and sound. He swabbed down as soon as he showed up this morning. And but we're gonna sit here and help entertain you. And you know, it's really kind of funny the way how all this stuff is working. Last night, a friend of mine, co-writing buddy of mine, Tim Daly, who plays in Tootsie's in Nashville. You know, a lot of these people are out of work right now. And what is so cool about it is they're doing shows on Facebook. And a lot of your big stars are on. They're blogging and they're playing songs on Facebook and YouTube and working from their home base. And Tim did about a 2-hour show on Facebook last night. And I think during that 2 hours, he did about 6 or 8 of the songs he and I had written together. And you know, there was people from Ireland texting in on and messaging him, and Canada and Mexico and all across the country. And these are people who have come to Nashville, you know, throughout the years and been to Nashville and gone to Tootsie's and seen Tim play. And so they're logging on his Facebook page to watch a show. And you know, these cats have figured out they're not making any money because they're not playing. So you can go online on PayPal and leave a tip. And so Scott Pallett, who played some music for us last week, was involved with that and stuff like that. And we're going to have some more music from Tim today. A matter of fact, he has released one of his songs that he wrote about his mom and dad called Heroes, and we'll have the video for that today for you and a couple other things. And we'll also have Becky Buller's new single that she's released on her new album. We'll have that on the show today. And so we're gonna entertain you folks one way or another. And but you know, talking about those folks, I wrote this yesterday for Tim and Scott and all the people who are working out of their home to find a way to entertain us, just like we're right here to find a way to entertain you. This is called Has the Music Gone? Where's the music gone? The restaurants and bars are dark, festivals postponed, locks on arenas and parks, tours canceled, bands laid off, instruments in the case. How will the players survive with no place to play? Well, creators create, because that's what they do. Pickers got to pick, and they'll pick too. From their shop, garage, or kitchen, they're entertaining you. And you can see it all on Facebook or YouTube. Yes, you can find the music, it's just in a different place. So log in to the artists doing shows from home base. Turn down the lights, grab your favorite guy and gal, dance around your house, and leave them a tip on PayPal. So the answer to the question, has the music gone? Nope. They're bringing it to you right in your own home. So thank those folks out there, the entertainers, for continuing to find a way to entertain us, just like we're kind of continuing to find a way to do that right here on our show. Like I told you, we're not going to leave you. You've been with us for 28 years. We're not going to leave you now. We'll find a way to be in front of you and help share information. You know, one of the things that I heard somebody say in this different kind of time that we all have and we're going through right now, you know, it's so weird, the changes that we're going through by all staying at home, and a lot of people aren't at work. And it gives you time to do a couple of things. One is reflect on life in general, And it's kind of strange to me. I find that there's a quietness that's sort of all around, and you drive down the streets and it's quiet. It's sort of like the beauty of a snowfall when the power goes off and you walk down your street and you look and see candlelight or lantern light in the houses, and it gives off a completely different view of your neighborhood because it's a softer, gentler glow that is surrounding everything. And that's sort of what we're going through right now. And you're wondering, you know, what am I going to do? Are things going to be the same? Well, we don't know. But there's one thing that we all can do, and that's find that little moment of happiness in what we're doing. And a lot of times we let life get in the way, or someone else's definition of happiness affect how we feel every day. And that's not good. You know, happiness is not this great big thing that you either have it or you don't have it. You fight for it every day, and there's so much of it there that you don't see because you're not looking. There's little simple things like a smile from your child, beating your wife at backgammon. That just thrills me to death when I can do that. You know, we're playing board games. We're spending time together that we normally don't spend. Look outside. I looked out the back door yesterday, and there's this absolutely gorgeous dogwood tree back there. And I just went out and sat on the back step when it wasn't pouring rain and looked at that dogwood tree and found happiness and joy in that. And there's so many things that we can find in our lives that, you know, we're usually too busy to find or to look at or to look for. So while this is all going on, be happy. Yeah, there's some scary stuff out there, but it's stuff that you can control your share of it. You can't control anybody else's share. It's sort of like staying up all night worrying about something. You know, you can't fix anything in the dark. There's nobody doing anything that you can call. You can't go pay that bill, or you can't get this job done in the dark. So there's no sense in losing sleep over it. Find happiness and take that little bit of joy that you find and revel in it, and then fight for the next one down the road. You'll find it down there too. Our world is upside down due to a pandemic that no borders or wall can control. While the world war rages, it seems there is a soft quietness that has taken place of the boisterous chaos that usually accompanies our existence. Why? I guess it's because we've been requested to socially distance ourselves by staying at home. Home. Home is where we love and care for each other. You know, it's hard to harbor hate where love lives and Candyland is being played. This past week was Easter week. It was Holy Week, and I read some pieces out of my Easter omnibus that took us up to the sound of salvation, which I'll read again and then read the last two pieces of my omnibus. There were many sounds on the road to Calvary, the rustle of palm leaves beneath his sandaled feet, the sounds of betrayal uttered in Gethsemane, the cheers of the crowd when they set Barabbas free, the sounds of sobs and weeping from those lining the street as the weight of the cross he bore drove him to his knees, the sound of the hammer as they nailed him to the cross, the sound as he begged forgiveness for all those that were lost, the sound of the storm God sent to end this deed, the sound of fear and the sound of desperation's pleas, the sound of loved ones' whispers as they walked him to the tomb and the Christ they loved and worshiped was sealed in a room. Then between the sounds of prayers and tears, his voice found its way in. Above the grief and sorrow, they heard his words again, I will arise again. So they went to the tomb on the third day and heard the sound of salvation in the silence of emptiness when the stone was rolled away. The holes. Two friends walked a country road. Emmaus was their goal. On the way, they discussed the stories they were told about a prophet Jesus who died then rose for them. But lost in doubt and despair, they couldn't let him in. As they journeyed on, a stranger joined their walk. They shared their doubts and fears. Then he began to talk, shared prophecies and scripture, proclaiming Christ is real. He changed their way of thinking, so they begged him share a meal. Their eyes did not let them see that Jesus was with them until they broke bread, bowed their heads, and he prayed with them. Then their eyes were opened, as well as their hearts, and they found a new journey, got a brand new start when he said, can't you see the holes? Feel my hands, rub my feet. They claim my body stole. Just believe, and you can see. The one who hung upon the cross as God's thunder rolled, alive again, as was foretold. Can't you see the holes? Now go forth and tell your friends, Jesus Christ the Savior has returned again. The salvation promised here to cleanse your souls. You can see the proof on me. Can't you see the holes? All you need is to believe. Can't you see the holes? The crown of thorns. God's will be done through his one and only Son, offered as a Savior for all of us on earth, concealed from speculation by a virgin birth. He learned, he taught, he preached, he walked, until the healing in all he passed was done. He tested those in power, sometimes won, sometimes lost. At last he was tortured, then carried his own cross and crucified at the world's darkest hour. On the third day, triumphantly, he arose again. Then alive, he ascended to sit at God's right hand. So the journey ended that lets us be reborn through the suffering of the one who wore the crown of thorns. And that's the end of my Easter Omnibus. I hope you've enjoyed the sharing of that. It's a great day. He's risen. We'll be right back.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senior. See? Martin Senior. Right there. Monsignor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
All right, folks, we're back, and what we're going to do right now is bring you my friend and IMBA artist and award winner, Grammy Award winner, Becky Buller. Becky's going to do something for us for next week from home, but right now she has a new song that's released on her new album, first song off of her new album, and it's called The Barber's Fiddle. And Becky met a barber years ago up in the northern part of Tennessee, and who was a fiddle player. You know, a lot of times music was played at barbershops. Back in the old days, it's sort of like the barbershop was sort of like a meeting place in small towns, and that was the front porch of downtown sometimes was the barbershop. And there was a lot of music shared there, and she met this barber, and he was a fiddle player, and they played some fiddle together, and she kept this song idea for years and has just recently put this out, and it was filmed at a barbershop. The video was filmed at a barbershop in Manchester, so that's great that we have Coffee County represented in a worldwide release of a music video from superstar Becky Buller, and you get to see it right now.
Mr. Jean's Barbershop, State Street, the Virginia side. I walked in hand with Pa, 5 years old and terrified. Mr. Jean smiled at me, helped me up into the chair. In the mirror I could see an old red fiddle hanging there.
Barber caught my gaze, said that's a tale I'd like to tell of a young man who came in one day with a fiddle and a dream to sell.
He tried to live out on the road, thought music was where he belonged. Well, it broke his heart and broke his soul, made him sing a different song. Fiddle up high, fiddle down low, fiddle most everywhere I go. I'd fiddle until my dying day, if I can make a life on a fiddler's pay.
Sat in this very chair, scared of what his folks would say. His hope was gone, his pockets bare. They warned him it would end this way.
He returned to start anew, no money for a shave and trim. He asked, would this fiddle do? Said it wasn't any use to him. Fiddle up high, fiddle down low, fiddle most everywhere I go. I'd fiddle until my dying day, if I can make a life on a fiddler's pay.
Mr. Jean swept the floor, spun me around and said, you're done.
I begged him to tell me more. What happened to the wayward son?
Turns out it was Mr. Jean hung his fiddle up that day. Now I'm living out his dream because he taught me how to play. Fiddle up high, fiddle down low, fiddle most everywhere I go. Gonna fiddle until my dying day. If I can make a life on the fiddler's pay. Fiddle up high, fiddle down low, fiddle most everywhere I go. I'm gonna fiddle until my dying day. If I can make a life on the fiddler's pay. Living my life on a fiddler's pay.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever. You'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is, The Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is, The Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm here today with my friend Ken from Airfoilers, and he's flown in here on a rocket today. He's the rocket man. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Very well, very well.
Good.
You surviving?
I'm surviving.
You stay clean, don't you, brother?
Oh, I do.
There you go.
I do. Stay at home as much as possible. Grocery shopping's about it right now, and building.
What'd you bring in today?
We do other things besides fly model airplanes at the field. I do anyways.
Right.
I fly rockets. Okay, and what I brought here is the little gold one there is just a standard rocket. Goes up, parachute comes out, it comes back down. It's kind of like a space plane. It's the Saturn V over here, that's already pre-built. That's a plastic model from Estes, and that commemorates our 200 year. The middle one is a rocket-powered radio-controlled glider.
Wow.
What I do is I launch that one up on a motor. Motor burns for about 5 seconds. It gets to about between the 400 and 500 feet. And then radio control, I can glide it back down and land it. So it's got a 2-channel radio gear system in it, and it's combines rocketry and RC airplanes in the same thing. And
so you can just mix it up, huh?
I mix it up. And then I didn't bring my bigger rockets with. I got a half-scale Patriot missile. I can get to 13,000 feet in about 65 seconds, but they won't let me do that around here. Kind of upsets some people.
I can imagine. I can imagine. You know, when you came in, I saw this, and you brought this stuff up, and it reminded me of a movie that I saw recently that I had seen before about Homer, who was the Rocket Boy.
Homer Hickman.
And if you haven't seen that film, find that film and watch it, because it is number one, it's a great storyline.
Right.
And number two, it's very educational and it's true.
It's a true story.
About a kid who lived in a coal mine town who wasn't a sports guy and wasn't a music guy and didn't want to work in the mines and ended up with Warner Braun Vaughn.
blowing some things up in his life.
Yeah.
But it shows what you can do if you just put your mind to it and you persist. And he did become a rocket scientist. I have met Homer a couple times at different launches. He does come out once in a while. He used to sign books and be out there with us. And it's a great story. It shows where we started and where we are now. It's an amazing thing, and he took sugar. He used very simple things, anything that was available where he was living at the time.
Right.
Sugar, pipe, welding, put it all together to make a rocket, and he taught himself the mathematics to do the formulas for the rocket, for the motors. And at one point, to find a rocket, he had to use trigonometry and learn new mathematics to find where a rocket landed one time. So it shows that no matter where you come from, you can go do greatness.
Oh, yeah. And in the movie, you know, he has 3 little buddies that are with him, and one of them, where they were talking about the sugar, and he finds some way to make that sugar burn hotter. Mm-hmm. And then they melted the nozzle out of the bottom of it, and so they couldn't figure it out, so they went to one of the guys who worked in the steel mines coal mines, who was a machinist.
Right.
And he helped them find the right kind of steel and the weld and different things, and to where it could stand the heat.
Yeah.
So it was, like you say, persistence.
Yes.
Just like I was talking about finding joy and finding fun. You have to be persistent in your search to achieve just about everything there is to achieve in life.
Oh, sure.
First, you got to show up.
Yep.
Second, you got to be persistent.
Yep.
So, and finish. It's really easy to quit in the middle of a project.
Oh, you see all the airplanes I've got started and not finished.
So finish, you got to finish. But so that's a great story for you to look at, and it's just interesting how we've gone from planes to rocketry, and the thing about it is that happens right here in our small county, Coffee County, Tennessee, right outside of Tullahoma on the Arnold Engineering Development Center base.
They've got the UT's got their space center there.
Yeah.
On the base. It's, we go out there. In fact, I'll have some of the engineers come out early in the morning before work to launch rockets.
Right.
And to play a little before going to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
They need to play too, because they're continuing to learn.
Oh yeah. And I'll have the junior out, TC out, flying their rockets, and they're all about speed and altitude. These kids, they want to go fast and high. I want to do this kind of stuff here. They want to go You know, I'm happy with 200, 300, 400, 500 feet. They want 1,000 feet. They want 2,000 feet.
Well, you know why, don't you? Huh?
No, why?
Well, we have a young boy here, Fred Helsley's son, who works for SpaceX.
Okay.
And for Musk.
Yep.
Out there in the propulsion section of SpaceX. And, you know, when you have a kid from your hometown who's working for Elon Musk, it makes you want to go fast and high and learn how to get there.
Fast and high. And out there at the field, I'll launch. I got some bigger rockets that I can launch. Now, these will all launch with A, B, C, D motors, SD stuff. Then I go up to the composite motors, and I can get, I've got a 5-foot tall ISQ Tomahawk, ISQY Tomahawk sounding rocket that I'll put up to 1,700 feet on an I motor. And that uses a APCP propellant, which is what they use in the shuttle on its solid boosters. And that's an I motor. But I'm qualified, I'm certified up to level 3, so I can use just about any motor up there. The biggest motor I've flown is an O motor. And that's a lot of power. I can get your car off the ground with that.
A car off the ground?
Yeah, that's got a lot of thrust to it.
Right here in Tullahoma, folks.
Well,
Ken is the man.
Air flight encompasses a lot of different things.
Right.
Okay? And we're always striving to improve what we do there. Okay, we've gone from control line flying to radio control flying. We've gone from Estes rockets now to high-powered rockets where you can go, you know, 30,000 feet, 100,000 feet as an amateur rocketeer.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
When you're right there, 8 football fields from the red light on Manchester Highway, and you shoot something up, how high?
At the field there, we're limited below 2,000 feet.
Oh, okay. Well, where do you shoot that big boy?
Down in Huntsville, from fall through spring, we have areas down there where the crops aren't in. We can go, I believe they got waivers up to 15,000 feet.
Okay, so when you shoot something up that high, what's the circle space of where that thing might land?
Anywhere within a couple miles.
Couple miles?
It all depends on the wind.
Okay.
We don't usually deploy recovery parachutes up at altitude. We'll let it tumble recovery. We'll just separate the rocket and let it tumble recovery down below 1,000 feet and then pop the parachutes out. That way you're not drifting as far away.
Right.
But
where does the rest of it land?
Mistake happens, and sometimes the parachute comes out at apogee and it floats away, and we've got trackers in them.
But you
everything stays together with shock cords. Nothing falls uncontrolled.
Okay.
Nothing. Everything's recoverable. Down in Argonia, Kansas, we got a standing waiver. I believe now it's to 50,000 feet.
Yeah, there's nothing out there.
Well, no, the birds walk down there.
Skinwalker Ranch.
Out at Black Rock, 100,000 feet and more.
Okay.
When you're going to those, there is a lot of paperwork involved when you are going to those altitudes, though, because you've got to have splashdown, what happens, you know, cover all the scenarios.
Right.
So you do have different paperwork to do too. Most of the time, most guys will stay below 20,000.
Okay.
That's even a challenge to get that high.
All right, so we got about 45 seconds left. What I want you to do now is explain to our audience, and particularly a lot of these young people out there, how to get in touch with you, what y'all do, when you do it. And
we're out there on weekends. I'm out there during the week too. Go to coffeeairfoilers.com. That'll get you to our website, contact information there on instructors and things like this. Right now, we're not doing any instructing with what's going on with the virus and all that.
Right.
We're hopefully going to get that started back up in May, okay, when they release us again. But we do social distancing out there. We do go out there and fly on weekends still, but we do.
You have a lot of space.
We got 35 acres. We do model airplanes, RC airplanes. We do some control line flying. During the week, I can fly my rockets. On weekends, sometimes I'll take out the RC gliders if there's not a lot of people out there, because there's setup time and that you don't want to disturb people. We did have to cancel our cancer event this week, coming up in 2 weeks, because of the virus, and we postponed that into May. There is a website for that called cancer.com, where we can still take donations for the Cancer Society, the local one here. And there's 2 silent raffles, silent auctions going on that too, which is a tandem, I believe a tandem skydive jump and a ride in an aerobatic airplane.
Okay, very good.
So we'll be talking about that later on too.
We'll be back to talk about that. Get in touch with this guy. You're young and you're scientifically oriented, or even if you're not, you just think this looks like fun. You never can tell where it might take you. We'll be back after these messages, maybe to the moon.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
You know, we got a lot of stuff going on with this coronavirus and trying to keep up with it and stay away from it. And, you know, that's a very hard thing to do, particularly for older people. And we lost one of our, not just a country music poet and storyteller, but a worldwide storyteller and singer, and that's John Prine. And we were fortunate enough when he was at Bonnaroo. Of course, we filmed Bonnaroo. We filmed it every year since it started. And Philip and Andrew were over there and got some great footage of John Prine at Bonnaroo. We'll miss you, John.
One day, baby, in 1951, the father was a stranger was the son. Call that child James Lewis, call these rooms a home, changing all them diapers, polish all that chrome. Come on, baby, spend the night with me. Around the schoolyard, playing all the games, running, laughing, back and forth, kid with two first names, a stranger in the closet, like the diary. The past is running faster, singing harmony. Come on, baby, spend the night with me. God bless this kitchen, set the knick-knack shelf. Dinner's almost ready, go and wash yourself. Jim is growing up now, and Wanda's growing old. The days are growing shorter, the nights are long and cold. Come on, baby, spend the night with me. Sneaking in the closet and through the diary. Now don't you know, all he saw was all there was to say. The whole town saw Jimmy on the 6 o'clock news. His brains were on the sidewalk and blood was on his shoes. Come on, baby, spend the night with me. Come on, baby, spend the night with me. Come on, baby, spend the night with me. Thank you. That was a rousing way to open the show. We're still playing songs from a record we put out last year, The Tree of Forgiveness. And we're knocking on your screen door. I ain't got nobody hang around my doorstep. Ain't got no loose change, just to hang around my jeans. If you see somebody, would you send them over my way? I could use some help here with a can of pork and beans. I was at a family, but they up and left me with nothing but an 8-track, another side of George Jones. I was in high cotton, banging on my 6th string, kicking at the trash can, walking skin and bones. I could see your back porch if I close my eyes now. I can hear the train tracks to the laundry line. I'm thinking it's your business, and you ain't got the answer. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime. Everybody's out there, climbing on the trees now, swinging in the breeze now, just a hanging on the vine. I'm dreaming about a sailboat, I don't need a fur coat. underneath the dashboard, got some sweet potato wine. I can see your back porch if I close my eyes now. I can hear the train tracks through the laundry on the line. I'm thinking it's your business, you ain't got the answer. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime. I'm knocking on your screen door in the summertime.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900, and now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch, and John, today is segment 42 of Conversations with John and Pat.
Well, since we've done this show, this jacket has been sitting back here, and each time it does, almost brings a tear to my eye.
I can understand.
Because I think about East Junior High. That's where I started. It was the year of August of 1969-70. And I'm going to play a song. It was one done by Ray Charles. I won't do all of the song, but I'll do enough of it for you to remember the song. Oh, it's crying time again, you're gonna leave me. I can see that faraway look in your eye. I can tell by the way you hold me, darling, that it won't be long before it's crying time. Oh, they say that absence makes the heart grow fonder, fonder, and tears are only rain to make love grow. My love for you could never grow no stronger if I live to be 100 years old. Oh, it's crying time again, you're gonna leave me. I can see that faraway look in your eye. I can tell by the way you hold me, darling, it won't be long before it's crying time. Oh, it won't be long before it's crying time.
Man, John, you just...
It's not as good as Ray Charles'
version. You got
version.
the whole studio a little misty there.
Let me tell you, the reason I do that song is because back at East Junior High School, early 70s, that song was popular. And if East would beat West, or vice versa, then one of the students from the school that won that night would call in to Ben's Jordan at WJIG. Miss Jordan, we'd like for you to play Crying Time for the West Junior High football team because East Junior beat West last night. And little did I know when I came to Tullahoma that East was least and West was best.
Well, see, children went to East, so I've got conflicted. I went to West, and I was very aware of that saying and believed it to the depths of my heart.
Mr. Wood, he corrected that by saying the least of these can beat the best of West.
Right.
He came along and added to that, so that's what we use from then on. Like I said, I followed Kelton Garner over there, and then Milner Carden was before that.
Right. You came the year that my class went to the high school.
Yes.
We went to our sophomore year there, and Coach Garner came to Tullahoma our 7th grade year, and he stayed at East for the 7th, 8th, 9th grade years of what was my classmates when we got to the high school, and then he used to say he graduated from East with our class.
Great guy.
Great guy.
And Milner, you know, you and I became affectionate to a large degree with Milner when we were in Rotary together with him. We would play pranks on him and tease him and this sort of thing, and he enjoyed that more than anything else. But last
night, he
night
went to the high school as track coach.
He did.
And that's when
the first track coach over there. And I got to say that Coach Carden left me some good instruction as to what to look for in track, how to beautify the sites in which we did long jump and shot put and discus and all that sort of thing. And we were very successful in our track program. I got one picture in just a minute we'll show, but if Philip will put up that first slide of the coaches that we had. That was Jerry Milton in the center there, and this might have been my second year. Tommy Allen on the left, and that's me on the right, and we were all young guys.
Did Jerry came that same year to start with?
Jerry came a year before I got there, so he came 68. And then Tommy had been there as a teacher for a good while, and then and later on began coaching, you know, and did real well in the middle school.
Yeah, before that, he'd coached at the first Pop Warner League, which grew into the Mullins League.
He coached the Bulldogs.
Coached the Bulldogs, and it was a 2-team league. It was just the Bulldogs and the Rebels. They played each other about 3 times, and then went somewhere, and both teams played. But it was
Tommy stayed with a single wing. I think he was a single wing. He wanted to do what Dub Cooper did, I guess. You know, he was he knew about that high school program.
Right.
And Jerry Milton, I kind of think Jerry might be in Murfreesboro at one time. I know he sold mortgage insurance, this sort of thing. I have seen him a time or two. There was one night that I sat with him at a Riverdale basketball game over there in Murfreesboro, and Mary, my daughter, scored 41 points that night against Riverdale.
Wow.
I was never so excited that she did that, and my old coach friend was sitting there next to me.
Take it.
She does that every night. You know, Jerry, she does that every night.
Well-trained and great genes.
Good genes, that's right. Last night, ate supper with the Romeos at Gondola.
What's Romeo? Which group's that now?
It stands for Real Old Men Eating Out, Pat.
With emphasis, I would assume, on old.
Yeah, and we were there, and I saw 2 of my former athletes and students, Tommy Hill and Lee Deckelman, young man that legends. And I tell you, it's so nice. And I say this for all these young men that I see, or young ladies, either one, the affection we show toward one another is just tremendous. You know, they remember me as tyrannical in a lot of ways, and then they had
both of those needed.
Did I say that word right? I don't use that very often.
But both of them needed a tyrant.
They did. They did. And
I had the pleasure of coaching both of them's boys in youth wrestling, and
they're good young men. They went through a lot, I know. But then there's another picture I'm going to show. This was the second year that I taught, and this is the track team that won the conference title. And I don't have, I can't see that plain enough. I should have had that picture with me to go over. I know one of the boys in the center there is Bobby Miles, who just recently passed away, and we'll miss Bobby. I think he was 61, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
And, you know, there's several in there, and I'm sorry I can't see it that great, but you'll find that a lot of familiar faces of kids who are still around and some of my managers in there were just as
some of them. One of the managers we saw was it Bentley.
Yeah,
it was a manager at the high school. He did a really nice job.
You know, there was a Dale Womack who was a manager for me along the way, and he wound up being a fireman in Cookville, and he passed away. But
no, that was Bruce.
Bruce
Womack.
Bruce Womack. But I have him right. I had said the name wrong, but it was Bruce Womack that passed away, and he was a good manager and wound up being a fireman. Roy Branch was a manager of mine. He wound up being a fireman. Richard Chastain did the same. I'm not so sure if I'm just creating good firemen. You know, they learn to take care of.
I'm bragging on Bruce a little bit more. Bruce was graduated at the high school to be a trainer, and in the 60s and 70s, to get that training position when you were a senior was a kind of a lofty position that you were rung ahead of the managers.
Yeah.
And he did well enough to where he got a really nice scholarship at Tennessee Tech as a trainer, and that got him into the.
He was well thought of in the Cookville area.
He sure was.
And when he got cancer, he people had benefits for him and such as that. So Pat, it's been good talking about Old East Junior High School, and we wished for a lot of more times that we could have let them play the song Crying Time, because we loved it when we called in the radio station. Bands play Crying Time for the West Junior High School team.
A similar song that Coach Osteen was famous for. He, if you remember, when Coach Osteen, that was from Chapel Hill, and one of your buddies, he was at the high school in the early 60s, and your principal at East.
Yeah.
But he was a football coach and baseball. He was assistant football to Coach Cooper, and he was a head baseball coach in the early 60s. And at that time, when you got your report card, you carried your report card from class to class. And he had a gentleman in his class named Nabob Simmons who had a real deep voice and was a good singer. And if you didn't have a C, if you had something less than a C, he had Nabob come up by his desk just standing there, and he'd say, now if it was me, he'd say, come on up, Pat Welch, and Nabob hit it. And he would sing, what was the vote?
See the big man cry, mama.
And then he'd put a D or F on there and send you back.
We got to go, Pat. It's been good.
That ought to be plenty. That ends up segment 42 of the conversation with John and Pat. And if we're able to return, we'll be here next week. Thank you.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we have Sandy Sebring here and Alan Harris, and they're here to talk about a push on the Veterans Memorial downtown at the Caboose Park. It's brick time.
That's right. We are again wanting to remind the public about the Blue Star and Gold Star Veterans Memorial, which is at the History Park in Tullahoma, and also the Veterans Memorial Walk. And I'm just glad to be here. Thank you so much for having us. I'm a member of the Shady Grove Garden Club, and we did sponsor these memorials. It was a garden club sponsor from the very beginning, which started immediately after World War II, to show a nation's gratitude to its armed forces. And so you will see these markers throughout our country, and we just thought that Tullahoma should have two. So they were dedicated and put up in May of 2019, and then in November, Veterans Day, we had the Veterans Memorial Walk dedicated.
Yes, ma'am.
And Alan Harris, who is Commander, well, you tell
I
him.
command American Legion Post 43 in Tullahoma. You guys have seen me here from time to time talking about Legion activities, and Sandy approached me prior to May of 2019, asked if any of the veterans organizations would be interested in sponsoring or help sponsoring the Blue Star Gold Star Memorial. And of course, we jumped at the prospect. The Post 43, the Auxiliary 43, and the Sons of the American Legion, Squadron 43, along with American Legion Riders, we all jumped on board and sponsored primarily the Gold Star Memorial. And it turned out quite well. Sandy and her folks put together the look of it, the design of it. She had it contracted and built. So all we had to do was just take pride in the fact that we were a part of that, and it represents our veterans, past and present and the future. So we're looking forward to seeing what the rest of it, the total build out's going to look like, and we fully support it.
I also would like to say that the Tullahoma Historical Society helped us to pay for and erect the Blue Star Memorial, and the Prescott family wanted to donate the American flag, which proudly flies over the memorial. It was a citywide project. The city was greatly involved and helpful in all aspects, and the comments that we have had from the public have just kept us going, because they have been so encouraging, and we always want people to understand that this is for all veterans of all the armed forces throughout our history. My father is there, his paver, and this is an example of the brick pavers. I'm not sure you can see that, but yeah, there you go. That is the type of paver with the veteran's name engraved on it, and anything, the years, the service, branch of service. And my father's there, and my husband, and we even put some Revolutionary War veterans in our brick sidewalk. So we have the we have it across the board, veterans represented, and we're really proud of that. And so now the news is tomorrow was going to be the cutoff date for the getting your forms in,
for the next
installation, which was going to be Memorial Day.
Right.
And this is it's just a piece of paper. You pick it up, and we had them distributed throughout Tullahoma.
Right.
But the virus has really caused a glitch in our plan because everything shut down, and so we've just had very little opportunities to get these forms out, but they are available. And we just talked to the City Hall this morning, and if you call City Hall and tell them you want a form, they will mail you one. And also, my phone number is at the bottom of the screen. If you call that number, I will mail you a form, because we've extended the date till May the 1st. And if you get your information in by that time, we will be able to get these pavers ordered and installed. And our plan, and we're hoping that this is going to work out, that by the end of May, we will have our second dedication of the new installed pavers. So we've told people, and we've had people from, it's not just Tullahoma, we have people from all over the country that have sent in their forms, that have lived here before, grew up here, moved away, and they were so excited to hear about it. And so we never know who's going to show up. Our last two dedications have been spectacular.
Yes, they have.
It was wonderful.
Now let me ask a question. You have a website?
Not really. I mean, no. I'm not. We don't.
We have a website, don't we?
The Post 43 has a website. You go to centennial.org, and it's we're located under that umbrella of centennialamericanlegion.org, which is our website. If you want to call the American Legion, the local post here, you can certainly, there's my personal cell phone number. If you want to call the American Legion, we have a brand new phone number. It's really, really easy to remember. It is 222-4350. And I'll say that again, 222-4350. And so just call and say, hey, mail me or email me a form. I want a brick. And
that was going to be my next question. Don't we have that electronically?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Where you don't have to mail it. It ought to be where people can go online and just copy the JPEG and print it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's available. We can even send it to you on carrier pigeon if you'd like that, or smoke signals, or stone throwing, whatever.
We have done just about everything we can think of to get these out.
You are Wonder Woman in my mind.
Absolutely.
and they're talking about, saw something today about a couple who, she's a nurse and he works in medical theory and stuff, who created a way to clean masks. And the guy said, why are we worried about masks, throwing masks away when you can clean them? Because he had done some research on that. He works at a research place. So in 14 days, they got cleared by the federal government, and those things are being shipped, the cleaning mechanisms are being shipped all over the country.
Fantastic.
And there was a box of 80,000 showed up at one hospital, and the woman in charge of nursing said it was just like Christmas Day.
Wow.
You want to get rid of the coronavirus? Call this woman right here and give her 2 months to get it done, and it'll be gone.
Oh my!
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. This is the hardest working lady I've run across, and I don't know when.
Oh, that's good news that you just said about the cleaning of the mask. That's wonderful.
She's taken this project, and did either one of us figure it would ever be done in the time frame that it got done in?
Absolutely not, and it just goes to show you the entrepreneurial spirit of Americanism.
It
That's
is.
right.
That's
That's
what
right.
it is.
So put your phone number up one last time. We're off there. There it is, right down there. We're getting ready to go off.
All right.
Thank you both for your participation.
Thank you
your
so much.
sponsorship.
For keeping the network open.
We'll keep the flame. We'll keep the torch burning around here, even if it's me by myself in a bonfire.
Thanks so much.
All right. We'll be right back after these messages.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, we're back up that way right there. You go that way right there. We've still been talking up around the camera. There you go. Good girl. Hey, I was talking about my buddy Tim Daly earlier, and Tim did a show last night. But, you know, we talk about our heroes and our modern day heroes and our old time heroes. And Tim was thinking one day about the most important heroes in his life, and if you want to see his heroes, follow him home. Tim Daly.
I had my heroes when I was a kid, like every American boy. It was baseball and quarterbacks, Hopalong, Gene, and Roy. As I grew older, the more they changed, along with who I look up to, and now they're not the same. If you want to see my heroes, they're still living in the house I grew up in, stood by me through thick and thin, never once did they let me down. Daddy never had no fortune or fame, Mama stood by him just the same. They worked their fingers to the bone. If you want to see my heroes, let me take you home. It's been years since I left home, guess I've done it all. From the bottom to the top, I've seen the rise and fall. And the reason I'm here today, there can be no doubt, is two people and the love they gave that I can't live without. You want to see my heroes, they're still living in the house I grew up in. Stood by me through thick and thin, never once didn't let me down. Daddy never had no fortune or fame, Mama stood by him just the same. They worked their fingers to the bone. If you want to see my heroes, let me take you home. If you want to see my heroes, they're still living in the house I grew up in. Stood by me through thick and thin, never once did they let me down. Daddy never had no fortune or fame, Mama stood by him just the same. They worked their fingers to the bone. If you want to see my heroes, let me take you home. Let me take you
All right, folks, that's my buddy, my songwriting buddy, Tim Daly, and Heroes, a tribute to his mom and dad. It's a great song, and I hope he finds great success with it. You know, Tim and I have been writing together for 20 plus years, probably 30 plus years, and he's a great guy. He's the meat and potatoes. He's one of those meat and potato guys that keeps the city of Nashville operational. You know, he plays every day at Tootsie's from 10 to 2. Of course, not right now. That's why most of these guys are playing at home. And it's really pretty cool. You know, I watched a two-hour show with him last night, and they can take tips on PayPal, and, you know, they're trying to survive, but they're also sharing their talent with us while they're doing it. And I want to thank Tim. Last night, I think he did, I don't know, in 2 hours, he did about 5 or 6 of our songs I've written with him, and songs of mine that he plays. And it's pretty cool that people in Ireland and Scotland and Canada are listening to my music because of the talent of Tim Daly, and I appreciate and love him for everything he does. We're going to close the show today with a little bit more of Tim Daly from his shop outside the back of his house. His wife, Teresa, is running the camera, and we want to thank you for watching. Know that we'll be back next week, and we'll keep on trying to entertain you and make you feel good about, you know, the situation that's going on. And remember what I said at the first of the show. There's happiness out there around you everywhere. Go find you some. Don't sit and worry and complain about the fact that you can't live your normal life. There's beauty in the life you're living right now. We'll see you next time.
Hello everybody, I'm Tim Daly. I'm going to play some songs for you. This is called Closer to You. That few lights burning bright, I can see our hometown lights. Just a few more miles to go. I'm almost home. Scraped together my last few bucks. It ain't enough to fill it up. It's just enough to get me back in your arms. It's been way too long closer. It's your lips on mine, to me every time I was calling. I'm falling, drawing me closer to you. Just another quarter mile, you should see my smile. It's ear to ear, while I'm here. I can see that gravel road, one that leads to you. What I'm gonna do, wrap you in my arms. It's been way too long, yeah. I can see you standing there, sundress in your long blonde hair. It's blowing, blowing, we're now getting closer. Taste your lips on mine, it's me every time I was calling. I'm falling, drawing me closer to you. I can't get this truck parked fast enough. I can see you standing there, sundress in your long blonde hair. It's blowing, you're blowing, when I'm getting closer. Taste your lips on mine, it's me every time. Folks call me, falling, drawing me closer to you. Yeah, yeah. Getting closer to you. All right, Jeff Atkins, what are you doing, old buddy? And Billy Heath. Let me know if it sounds all right out there. I ain't got nobody out here to sound check. I'll turn that a little bit. Well, guys, let me know if there's something you want to hear, and if I know it, I'll play it. I'll do some original stuff, and I'll do some covers too. What up, Chance? Eric Haggard, how you doing, brother? Carl? Edwin? Hey, guys. And I know Jay Susie's out there.
Tony's on.
My buddy from New York.
Tony's on.
Hey, Tammy.
Tony.
Carl. I'm sorry, I should be wearing glasses. So, honey, just let me know. I just saw a request for Straight to You. So I will do that song. I'm at the Cracker Barrel, by the way. This is going out to all my old PJs friends. Hey, Brenda. Oh, my God, I'll do Trixie. Oh, my God, I hadn't done that song in a long time, but I'll do it. Let me know how it sounds out there. I mean, as far as volume. Thank you, TJ. Hey, Tracy. Outritten, hard, been put up with. That's a life I've lived. I got no regrets. Yeah, hard and heavy, and I did nothing. Yeah, I've slowed down, but I'm still running. Straight sequel to When I Love You, girl. Every time it feels just like brand new, I run straight to you. And I used to watch the sun come up, and the light was red out staring in a coffee cup. You're just thinking about the things I've done. You know nowadays there's only one place I run, straight to you. I can hear you calling, straight to you. And honey, I'm still falling. No, there ain't nothing in this great big world sequel to When I Love You, girl. And every time it feels just like brand new, I run straight to you. I run straight to you. And for the first time in a long time, I don't feel so alone. I've got direction again, and it's directing me home. Straight to you. Yeah, I can hear you calling, straight to you. And honey, I'm still falling. No, there ain't nothing in this great big world sequel to When I Love You, girl. Every time it feels just like brand new, I run straight to you. I run straight to you. Straight to you. That's what I do. I've written hard and been put up with. That's the life I've lived. I got no regrets. All right. Thank you guys. I saw Danny Holland out there, and Rachel Schluter. Hey, that song's for you and Max.